All right, welcome in to episode 4 of the Redraft Rehab Pod. I'm here with my good fellas. Fellas, let me know what it is, man. What's happening?
Yo, what's good, y'all?
No,
Thermnation!
yeah, B is tired, man. You got to put the kids to bed or something like that, man. B out here working, man, working hard.
The bed and floor.
All right, well, y'all already know what we're doing today. So today we're going to get into the NFC West and kind of going through some loves, some avoids, where we see players, where we don't see players. And I mean, just like last couple of weeks, this is 100% what we're doing every single week, just to get you guys up to speed on who's in these divisions, who's going to end up helping you win these fantasy championships, because that's the only thing we're here for. We're here to help you win these redraft leagues where men play. Okay, we're not here for your dynasty advice right now. We are here for redraft only. So, I mean, we're going to jump right into it. We'll spin the block, but we're going to jump right into it. The first team that we are analyzing today, Brady, we're looking at these Seattle Seahawks. What's
Nasty
kind of
work.
going on with them, man? Like,
Nasty
who's our
work.
fantasy players that we can look forward to with them?
Well, if I have a love pick for them, I'm picking Njigba, Jackson and Jigba.
Okay.
Even though it's a toss up between Kenneth Walker, because he's a running back and running backs usually take priority. But Njigba, like the last, I guess, 8 to 10 games of the season last year, he was arguably top three receivers from production standpoint. So that should continue over even with Sam Darnold. We don't know how he will perform. But if Sam Darnold could at least be half of what he did in the Vikings, and Jigba should be a priority.
Wide receiver 12 right now. So he is being, that love is being reciprocated, right? So as far as your leagues, he is shot way up from his ADP last year. And now he's sitting at wide receiver 12. Is that warranted, or does Sam Darnold, I mean, he carried two viable fantasy weapons last year in Minnesota. Can he do the same with Seattle?
I think it'll look different, but I think it'll be. I think because I'm just thinking of Njigba's production wise, I think he's going to eat regardless. Sam Darnold may not play the same as he did with the Vikings, but Njigba shall still eat.
Okay, okay. Before I kind of weigh in, I do want to know who's your avoid on this team right
Oh,
now
and
for Seattle.
that boy Noah Fant, get him out of here.
Okay, okay. Tight end to love or hate at that
Because
point.
he's a starter, but I don't know, man. He ain't it.
I
At
mean,
least
he's not
not
draftable. He
recently.
shouldn't be draftable. If you're drafting Noah Fant, you are in a league with too many owners. That is how I feel. You either have too many owners or too many bench spots.
I'm
Noah
gonna give
Fant should not be a part of it.
I'm gonna give a quick spicy take. If I had a dislike, it is Kenneth Walker. To be perfectly honest with you, it's not a don't draft him; it's a dislike, and the reason why is injuries. I do not think he'll make the whole season. The boy behind him, Charbonnet, is not bad at all. It's a true dual backfield, and Charbonnet is the bigger back, so he will get the goal line touches. So Walker, I think he'll struggle to get 1K and touchdown wise might cap out around six. Just giving you the hard truth.
You know, I am actually digging something about this Seattle offense. And my hot take is I absolutely love, and I think I'm going to get a lot of this, Cooper Cup in drafts.
I
He is
like it.
now a part of this Seattle offense. He's
No, no,
sitting at
no,
wide
no. Never
receiver
mind.
47. He's in between Josh Downs right now and Michael Pittman. So you got two Indianapolis wide receivers with a quarterback that is one of the most, you never know what you're going to get quarterbacks in the league right now that's starting. But where you're getting Cooper Cup at, I think is a steal. So if you do miss out on Jackson Smith and Jigba being your wide receiver one, look to kind of shore up that, late round dart throw with a Cooper Cup. Don't forget him on your draft boards because right now he's a sneaky sleeper.
Yeah, and he got something to prove.
Oh yeah, I mean, can he do it without McVay? Right? Can he do it?
He has a
As
skill
old as
set,
time,
but the scheme we don't know.
we
He's
got to
just old
see.
and lost his step.
they're fighting over who's in the slot. And to me, once we see it on the field, obviously, I think that's going to play. But whoever gets in that slot, whoever's the closest target to Sam Darnold, I think will end up getting the majority of that work and maybe an even split, actually. I think defenses are going to respect Njigba this year, so they might pay him extra attention. Cuff's got the one-on-one. I kind of like that matchup a little bit more. Um, moving on, right? We just talked about Seattle. Um, I think there's some upside in that roster. Unfortunately, it's all dependent on Sam Darnold. So buyers beware. Sam Darnold, who knows if he's a sneaky dart throw QB2 later in drafts. I wouldn't personally, but hey, he finished as a top 10 fantasy quarterback last year, albeit he had
Hmm.
Justin Jefferson, he had Addison, but let's see if he can do it again. We're going to move on to a team that, I mean, your guess is as good as mine, so I'm going to throw it over to you, Thermnation. What are the San Francisco 49ers doing in the Bay right now?
Nothing.
Ooh,
But
ooh.
No,
uh,
that's not true.
you want a player that you should look at for real, for real? Uh, so I'm gonna stick with wide receiver, and I'm gonna go a little deeper dive, and I'm gonna say Jawan Jennings. So
Mm,
he's not somebody I'm thinking you need to draft big on. No, not at all. He doesn't need to be your wide receiver one or two. No, but he is a very viable option to have as a flex who will have big games because he has a good connection with Brock Purdy, whether you like it or not. Brandon Ayuk should be back. That'll also relieve some pressure off him, and Pearsall will be another year into the system. So I think Jennings out the slot will be a very nice add. I think he's good for at least 800 yards and good for, honestly, 10 touchdowns. I think he could get that. Because again, Purdy likes to throw this man the ball, especially in the red zone. And of course, yes, you draft George Kittle. And as far as Pearsall goes, we'll see. Now, for a dislike,
You got to just
it's a little tough.
rip the Band-Aid off, brother. Rip the
It's a little
Band-Aid
tough.
off. Come on. What's up?
But I don't know what CMC is going to be like.
Thank
I,
you.
I mean, you got to draft him. Again, you got to draft him. And it's going to cost you a first round pick. It's going to cost you in that anywhere after pick five, I'm guessing. But it's rough because you could get him and he could be back to CMC and you could win the league. And you could get him and he could just not play. And it could be over for him. And your whole season will probably go down the gutter because of it. So it's tough, to be honest with you. Their offensive line should still be, well, they lost some players, so we'll see. Trent Williams is still there, but another year older. It's tough. CMC is someone you do draft. Just maybe leave it to someone in the back end of the first round. If you have the top six pick, I wouldn't use it on CMC. Let me put it that way.
Right now, he's trending as a mid-second round pick. So they have
Mid
him as
second.
RB7 behind Josh Jacobs is in front of him. Um, Bucky Irving is right behind him, and Jonathan Taylor. So there's right now there's a
I
little
take
bit of a
both of them
discount,
before him.
and that will push him into the middle of the second. So right now, you're looking at a middle of the second round pick for CMC. I think the risk factor is kind of built into where you got to draft him at, to be honest with you, because I mean he's been a top three pick consistently every year he's not injured. So um, the risk is built into the reward. I think the subtraction of a Debo Samuel actually opens up this offense to do a lot more down the field. So I actually like the Jawan Jennings pick as a very sneaky flex. Um, I don't know what we're going to get with Brandon Ayuk this year. Pearsall
Yep.
didn't show me much. So
Yep.
uh, Jawan Jennings, he looked like the wide receiver one even when Ayuk was kind of still there. So there's that.
And like I
Um,
said, he has a legit connection with Brock Purdy, and that
Yeah,
matters.
can't deny the chemistry right there, man. I do like that. Um,
So is that your favorite
I
pick or your sneaky pick?
That's my favorite pick.
yeah, that's
Okay.
I
the
don't
love
do.
right
You want me to
there.
do a sneaky?
No, I was just curious. That was all.
That would be my
Because
sneaky pick for like a flex.
my sneaky
That
pick
would
would be the Niners defense. Why?
Okay.
Why sneaky? Honestly, it's because of Salah. Salah? How you say it?
Robert Salah.
Salah. All right. uh,
A lot.
I think that'd be my sneaky pick would be the Niners defense because he is a good defensive coordinator. He is. They
Fact.
lost a lot on that defense. They did. But Fred Warner just got paid. He's going to ball out. And I just think that whoever's left is going to be next man up, and Salah can get them to be another good defense. I'm not going to say a top tier, top five defense. I mean, if he gets them there, good job. But that'd be my sneaky pick. Their defense.
Okay. Okay. Not mad at it. I mean, they still got a top. The key to redraft defenses, if your league still plays with them, is you need to get sacks and turnovers. And the 49ers, if not for nothing, they get sacks, they get turnovers, right? They might not win every game, but they can show up in the stat department that matters. I'm trying to avoid most 49ers, to be honest with you, if I can. I do like the sneaky flex options like down in the drafts, but in the first, let's say three to four rounds, outside of Kittle, I don't want to put a single 49er on my roster.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was
This year.
like, Kittle would be my go-to because Debo's gone, so that's all
I
underneath.
think Kittle is get shot up to the moon now. Like I think Kittle is not
Yeah,
even the
he's going to
underrated
eat,
sleeper
and he
anymore.
just got paid again, so he's going to be the number one guy
Hey, beware
from a
of those
passing
guys that
standpoint.
just get paid.
Okay.
Those are the ones that always give a little because they exhale a lot of times. Now this is Kittle's second contract, but they exhale and all of a sudden some of that dog leaves a little bit. Some of it. It's not as good as a contract year player, but yeah. Um, all right, well, I mean, that's the Niners. I think the Niners as a whole, buyer's remorse, buyer beware, however you want to put it. That's what I would have. Exercise caution in those first like three rounds. Make sure it's Kittle or you got to have a plan, brother. But without further ado, another team that's a full enigma, the Arizona Cardinals. B, how we looking? How we looking with Arizona, man?
Well, I'm gonna start with my avoid, and that's Kyler Murray.
Oh, oh,
He's at least the last two seasons, even though he is like the prototypical fantasy quarterback from a skill set standpoint, but the past two seasons he's been garbage, especially last year. He's been garbage. That man got
if,
weapons. He got a
if
receiver. He got two, like one or two receivers. He got a tight end. He got good running backs, good scheme, and he's just ass.
if I could speak as the person that's owned Kyler Murray in the last two seasons, it is one of the most frustrating experiences I think I've ever had as a fantasy owner. Even worse than Deshaun Watson garbage time stuff, who used to be my go-to back in the day. Because he'll have weeks where he's a top three quarterback fantasy wise, and then have a 3 week stretch where he's depending on a fourth quarter touchdown to even make it to decent. So last year, first year back from injury, he wasn't running as much, so the stats kind of did that. Took him down a peg, but whew, it's rough. It's rough
He was
being a
very
Kyler fan.
inaccurate too. So
It's rough being a Kyler. There was a lot of goal line red zone passes that sailed over people's heads. Um, Speaking of sailing over people's heads, any Trey McBride love?
absolutely, that's my guy. Tight end number one
Ah,
every year, baby. My new Travis
what,
Kelsey.
what it is, what it is. Hey man, a
That
weapon's a
boy,
weapon.
that boy eats.
If he
And he
got the
Oh,
disrespected.
tutties,
First of
if
all,
he
this is
got the
why
tutties.
this is the main reason why I say avoid Kyler Murray. Trey McBride should have been the number one tight end the whole season. My man Kyler Murray did not look his way at all. This man had Chris. You remember?
no
My man
touchdown.
had his first touchdown was a fumble recovery, bruh. Until like week 12, he had a receiving touchdown, I think, or 13. Kyler sucks, bruh.
No
Get him out of here,
touchdown.
bro.
Those
Get
red
him
zone
out
passes
of
just
here.
going over the head. Over the
Think
head.
about it. Trey McBride had one touchdown, which was a fumble recovery in week one, bruh, and then he didn't have a touchdown until like week 13.
Now I will say that
No.
we run a half PPR league. So for us, the PPR monster that Trey McBride is in your other ESPN leagues and different things like that, it ain't cutting it over here, right? We run a man's league. We don't give full points just for catching the ball and doing bubble screens, all right? So but even with that being said, Trey McBride, top option. He's just got to find a way to get into the end zone and get on chemistry with his
No,
quarterback. How
the
you
quarterback
overthrow a
needs to find
6'4"
him
tight
in
end,
the end zone.
I
He be
don't know.
open. I got league pass. I watch the games. He be open.
He's open, but you got to have that chemistry. Otherwise, your 5'7" quarterback can't see the 6'4" tight end.
No touchdowns.
No
But I
championships.
mean, I'll ask this question
No.
because Arizona has, as I mentioned, they're an enigma. Is there any love in thinking that Marvin Harrison Jr. could become an option? Because last year he was drafted in the
Oh,
top 15 picks.
he's draftable. He's just not my favorite. My favorite is Trayvon Brock.
Well, what's
He's
your
very much
analysis? Do you
draftable.
think
No.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be able to continue on a path that kind of he ended the season with, where he started getting a little production, started getting his footing? He showed up to camp looking yoked, so we
I
got to
think
see
he'll
what's
have a
up.
better overall season. It just really depends on Kyler Murray at the end of the day. I feel
Okay,
like he has the
chemistry with the
ability
quarterback.
to, like I said, I think a lot of the Cardinals' downfall was Kyler's play, at least from a passing attack. And
Okay,
Marvin Harrison also was in very inconsistent for the hype that was behind him. I will say that, but I'm giving more blame to Kyler. So I feel
I'll
like he
say this
should.
every year until I'm blue in the face. James Conner is always a sleeper in every year he's ever being drafted. So
Yeah,
that is just he's the most steadiest player in fantasy football. Like he's always available for you, man. Yeah, and that'll wrap up the cards. We're gonna swing it to the last team of the NFC West, this illustrious division that I have a small disclaimer for at the end of this. Um, but Therm, let me know what's going on with the Los Angeles Rams. What's going
It's
on with
actually
the blue and
pronounced.
yellow?
It's actually pronounced Los Angeles.
The
My bad.
Roms. Is that what you're getting at now?
That's absolutely correct. Anyway, so they got like a large collection of talent. All right, let me just be honest here. So there's a lot of likes, but overall like, and I'm gonna be main with this is Puka. Okay, Puka is. I made a tier list recently, and I put him in my S tier for wide receivers. He's trending to be a top 5 wide receiver by the end of this season. Absolutely, I put him right there right now. I got him at 6, right behind who's five, who's five, who's five. That's Tyreek. No, I dropped him. I forget. But he'll be in the top 5 very soon. But that's my like for Puka. He's always open. The man catches everything. Last year he got hurt. I think that's behind him, and he'll have another strong season. Matthew Stafford is nothing without him, to be honest with you. So he's gonna cook. My avoid their tight ends, all of them. Doesn't matter which one. Tyler Higbee is the main one I know, but just avoid him. Why? You're not going to get him on the day where he actually scores. It's just that simple. They don't throw him the ball. He's a blocker, and it is what it is. Don't draft him. Leave him on the wire. Eh, yeah.
He gets
Another.
5 touchdowns a year, and
that is
all
funny
five
as
of those
hell.
touchdowns will happen when
He
you do
said you
not
won't
have
get
him
him the day
rostered.
he scores a touchdown. That is a nice
And that's facts.
It's the truth.
one.
And then if
Tons
I
of
just had to
facts.
throw in a little sneak, always, and this, look, I disrespected him on our previous pod, but Kyron Williams is a good running back.
Thank
Okay,
you.
he is a good running
Kofi.
back. He's 100% draftable. The my only issue is that, and this is to be real, Sean McVay don't like to run the ball anymore. He did with he did with Todd Gurley. He just doesn't do it with Kyron
Bro,
that
this
much.
man arguably has the most touchdowns, bro. What do you mean?
2 years ago.
He throws a lot. I'm just
He
trying to tell you.
does,
That's
but
what even happened in the playoff game. They
heck
barely gave. They
Kyron
didn't even give
Williams
Kyron the
numbers,
ball.
bro.
Well,
They didn't even give Kyron the
Kyron had a
ball.
rough he had a rough year last year. Couple of little fumbles, couple of little getting back from injury. He wasn't the Kyron 2 years ago that was just a monster, right?
Sure, but
Still
they
a good
don't.
he's
He
still a
just
good
doesn't
player.
run like that.
But now you got more mouths to feed in Los Angeles. Devontae Adams is sitting there. Puka's sitting there. Now they had a little bit like that already with the cup dynamic, but Devontae Adams, he's going to command more targets, right?
Yeah,
Is this transitioning to be a passing team? And if it
it
is,
already
Kyron
was.
Kyron can't pass protect, so he gets subbed out when that happens.
They, let me be more specific. They have been a pass happy team since the day they traded for Stafford. That changed their entire philosophy. But prior to that, Yes, McVay was had one of the best run games in the league with Gurley and everything, and all his
Well,
formations and now all
he had
that.
the
He
best
just
running
doesn't do
back
that
dang near
anymore.
in the league. I mean, he
Sure,
had the
but I'm
best
saying
running
like he
back in
used
the
to run
league dang near.
reverses and stuff like that. You don't really see like he'll move now. His stuff is about moving Puka, right? He moves Puka
Well,
everywhere.
he
That's what he
finds a
does.
star and they fixate on it. And I think at the time
Pretty
with the
much.
golf years, Gurley was just he could be anything. Kyron Williams is not
Right.
that type of running back. You're not
Sure.
he's not he's just not that. But I mean, right now he's sitting
Yep.
at running back 11. You got Jonathan Taylor in front of him and Chase Brown from Cincinnati behind him. So I think he took a little bit of a dip from where he was last year, but at the same time, I love the value. I love where you're getting a Kyron Williams at.
And I hate to admit it, I really do. But Rams defense is also another sneaky pick. Actually, they're probably going to be
They're
no
very
a
sneaky.
sneaky pick. I'm gonna say that
They're very
their D
sneaky.
line
They're
is good.
young. They get a
I
lot of
I had to
sacks.
give Verse credit. Verse is a very good player.
And he's only scratching
Gotta
the
give him
surface.
credit.
Hopefully, he doesn't hit a sophomore slump. Fingers crossed.
I
But
hope he does. No, I hope he does.
that is something that we'll keep an eye out on. But somebody who you're getting for absolutely free in these leagues. We just talked about Kyron Williams. We just talked about Devontae Adams. We just talked about Puka. I mean, Stafford is free right now at QB 21. Now, he's not a
Yeah.
running threat at all, but you're talking about a guy that's he's going to put the ball in the air. He has two electric weapons at wide receiver. I think, to be honest, like, there's worse QB2s that you can think about. Stafford might be a great dart throw later on in the league. I'm looking for if you are rostering Jordan Love, if you're rostering a Dak coming off an injury, if you're rostering a Baker Mayfield. Like these are the type of players that you want to at least shore up a QB2, and Stafford's a good sneaky pick. And then by week 3, you figure out who to drop.
Baker Mayfield.
Hey man, he's leading league in touchdowns. So I don't
Yeah,
know what you're
Chris
gonna
would
do
have
with
won
that.
if he would have drafted him like
I'm
I
just
told him.
messing with you.
Chris
I'm
would have
just
won if he would have listened to me. I told him pick up Baker. I told him. I was like, pick up Baker.
That's how he sounds, people. That's how he sounds. Sounds just like
He wanted
hey man.
Tua.
On
I
that note,
did want to.
I think I'm going to end
Your
up
demise.
being
Oh,
the
Tua.
party pooper here, just to be able to.
That is crazy.
Tua turn the ball
Crazy,
over.
that's crazy. That's better.
That's Tua turn the ball over.
Man, adding a
Because that's
couple of
all he
different
does.
additives on there. NFC West,
Hate that.
I like a lot of their actual talent that they have in the division, but this talent comes with a built-in nerf. When they face each other, it is the worst football you can ever watch.
The worst. I
It
needed Brock
is,
Purdy to score 10 points.
oh,
Only got me 3 against the Rams. Bum
oh,
ass nigga.
I'm just this
We didn't have
is
no
a
chips.
division. This is the one like division that is just complete when they play each other. Absolute fireworks or absolute garbage. Like there's no in between. So buyer's remorse
Come
and
on.
buyer's beware because when they play each other, you have no idea what you're about to get, and that's
At all.
100% real talk. So I leave you with that. I would be very careful of a couple of these teams that we talked about, but I do like the value that you're going to get for some of the flex sleepers. I think that's where the key sauce to this division is. You got to look at those flex sleepers, man. But this is us signing off for Redraft Rehab. Thank you for listening, tuning in. We'll catch you next week.
Thermnation.
All right,
Thermnation.
fellas. All right, y'all. Appreciate
And
you
the
guys.
term.
Thermnation.
Yes, sir.
Thermnation.